Welcome to Quick Tactics.
Okay, welcome to another Quick Tactics video for Bot War. I thought I would just go quickly over how the elemental avatar forms or combines in Bot War. So firstly, we're starting off here. We've got the Champions of Life, which are the Trashers, and they will can combine to form Trashasaur. So I just thought I'd run quickly through how all that works. Now, it's reasonably complicated, but once you get the hang of it, it's pretty easy to work out. Okay, so we've got here, oops, sorry for the camera. We've got here the stat cards here for the Champions of Life, and I have actually already arranged some energy on them. Now, most of the Champions of Life come with 2 cubes or 2 energy as standard. So, but I've actually added 2 extra energy, presumably from the other models that would be in a normal faction that you would have to allocate for it to work, to what we call the core combiner model, or the core code model. So we've got here Smasher, who is the core combiner core code model, and he is the center of the elemental avatar when it forms. So everything really revolves around this model here. So when you form the elemental avatar, you actually are going to pay energy from every member of the group that will be used to form the elemental avatar, and it actually costs 2 energy per model. So it's reasonably expensive super ability. This is one of the few activations, I think the only activation in Bot War, where all models will activate at the same time when you're forming the elemental avatar. So you would actually declare that you're forming the elemental avatar, and you would actually pay 2 energy from each model that you've assigned the energy to. If you don't have energy on the model, then you can't actually form the elemental avatar, and you would take 2 also from the core combiner / core code model, and you've got 2 remaining on the center model, meaning the center model of the actual the core code / core combiner model. Now that model is very important because all the activations of the formed elemental avatar will actually work through this model. So any activations once you're formed, all the extra energy needs to go onto this model in particular. So otherwise you won't be able to use the energy that you've put on any of the other models, like the arms and legs, unless the elemental avatar fails or you disassemble it, and then you can use that energy that is on the individual models. So we've paid our price. So we've paid our price, which means that all of these models here will be replaced. Now, this is the core combiner model. So this is the key model where the Trashasaur will be placed. So all the other models, in order to form the elemental avatar, have to be within 2 inches of this model. So basically all we do is remove all these models back to their stat cards, and we replace this model with the mighty Trashasaur. So we are now formed up onto around that core combiner's core code model, and we have placed all of the, oops, sorry, it's hard to do this with one hand. We've placed all the models onto the stat cards, like that. Now you don't have to place them on the stat cards, I suppose. Might not be enough room there. So, but you need to keep them handy, because you may need them if the elemental avatar fails or you want to disassemble it. Now, that is one activation that all of the models have performed. Now, the Trashasaur now that all those models is now treated as a single model, and it actually has one activation left. So it may use any of these remaining energy here to do something. Now in this case, it's actually going to move into close attack with poor old Terra. And he looks scared as well. So he can't actually fight a round of close attack because he has now used all of the activations this round for the elemental avatar. So next round, you will still have to place all the energy onto... You still have to place all the energy, and I've actually, once again, added 2 extra energy here, because at the start of your turn, you will have to decide whether you want to maintain the elemental avatar's form or disassemble. Now, there is actually a bit of a cheeky tactic that was not intended in game development, but has been found by a few people. It's called the Trashasaur bus. Now, it's because basically the tactic is that people form Trashasaur straight away and use Trashasaur's extra defense to run up the table and then split into all the individual Trashasaurs and just run amok in people's lines. And it is actually quite a scary tactic because Trashers are very good in close attack even as individual bots. So, and can take on multiple opponents, whereas Trashasaur can really only take on a single opponent at a time, even though he will pretty much destroy that single opponent. So, at the start of each turn, we still have to pay everything to maintain. And then we have 2 activations left because the maintenance of the ability does not constitute an activation. So we still have now 2 activations. We can either fight a round of combat, and I no doubt we will destroy poor old Terra over here with 1 round of combat, and then we can use the second energy to move on or shoot at another enemy. So that's really how we form the elemental avatar. Now, if we want to disassemble, if we decide that we do not want to pay our extra energy and that we want to disassemble the combined form of the elemental avatar, then what we would do is not pay that, and then at the start of your activation, you would actually once again remove that model, place down the core combiner or core code model, and then you would place within 2 inches around that model the remaining trashes from that. Okay, now if the Trashasaur was in close attack, then the core code or core combiner model will be in close attack as well. If it's not in close attack, then you cannot put it in close attack. Okay, so that's pretty much how combiners or the elemental avatars will work in Bot War. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe for more, and put your feedback in the comments below. Thank you.